Can you put on your Mount Carmel hat? Because we're just hearing a lot of things. Yeah, I spoke to Guan Academy Charter School head former speaker Judy Wampet yesterday, and we're just hearing again unofficially that there may be a return to face instruction. But can you just tell us what conversations Mount Carmel has been privy to about this?
Well, as part of the Catholic school system, we met with both the governor and lieutenant governor yesterday. I was fortunate to be part of a Zoom meeting, and so everybody, really, the leadership of the archdiocese, and of course with Adelie, we had both the governor and lieutenant governor part of that meeting, and it seems clear that the plan is to allow the schools that can and want to go ahead and open Monday. The governor made clear that while that's her intent and she wants to do it, if there's any reason before and definitely during our face-to-face instruction that she needs to shut down the schools again, she'll do it. And that was in response to a request for maybe some heads up. And that was one point she made clear that if she needs to, she'll she made clear to us that there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And we were part of a meeting with a lot of people, and it's not like anyone would sit there and ask 3 or 4 questions. So wasn't this kind of interview where you get to flush out, well, what did you mean by this or that?
Well, Mike, we only get 2 questions. We only get 2 questions at the press conference, so I'm pretty sure the Zoom sit-downs with the governor.
Well,
you probably can't even think of questions.
I got my 2 questions in without any limits. So I was real happy about that. But yeah, no, that's the plan, is to open Monday, and that's qualified, right? That means you're capable. And one of the elements that the governor expressed, it sounded to me like this was something without doubt that needed to be included, and that's testing. If there's a student that appears to be positive in the sense that has the symptoms, is in your care, it sounds to me like, and I'm not an expert on the rules, and the staff handle all that, and they work with public health, but it seems to me the governor doesn't want us to just send the child home. Once the student tested, wants the school to ensure that we carry out that responsibility. I believe every school, I should say, has trained personnel, because that's been a huge effort by public health. And I know in the archdiocese, there's been an amazing response from everybody, but definitely from some of the schools. FD is amazing with regard to their capabilities. There's other schools that aren't too far behind, but we're all equipped with at least one member of staff or faculty that has been trained in testing. So that's going to be something that I think is no compromise on that element.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, it seems to me, Chris, that with the Delta variant, that there's a lot of unknown, and it sounds to me from my participation in the meeting that the governor, lieutenant governor, appreciate the damage and the harm that are created by not having face-to-face instruction.
Right.
So you have that on one side.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can't say anybody, I'm sure experts did, but I don't think most people appreciated the damage that causes to our students. On the other hand, you have the health concerns, which again, that doesn't need any explanation. I asked the governor about sports, and she said, no, the plan was that would follow the opening of schools. So when schools open, sports will open with those very stringent considerations and restrictions, but sports will go on. And so that seems to be the plan. And we were very pleased that we were included in that meeting and allowed to receive and share the information. But yeah, I'll tell you, this is a a new era for Guam. We're in an area where nobody's been before, and so we're all, I think, trying to navigate our way through.
Yeah.
And as we do, we look back and realize maybe we didn't, not maybe, we didn't know about some of the damage that would happen on both sides of that equation.
Yeah.
Moving students from face to face and sports, and they're, the one thing the students go to school for is each other. I mean, anyone who's saying, oh, no, they come for math. Yeah. They don't come for math. They come for each other. And we've had 3 school years now where that's been either slightly interfered with or like last year, dramatically interfered with. And so at some point, there needs to be a decision made, and the decision's made now to return to face-to-face. If the individual school is capable and wants to do it, then at least for now, they're going to be able to do it.
Mike, just real quickly, I know you can get a little long-winded, and we got to do the news here, but at any point during that meeting, did anyone say, hey, Gov, you suspended face-to-face temporarily because you said that the rising number of cases was so alarming and it was only a matter of time before our most precious children, who are largely unvaccinated, would be exposed to the virus? And here we are 3 weeks later. Nothing has changed. In fact, it's gotten worse. Still having this conversation that she totally 180'd on last week. Did anyone say that?
No, but I can say, Chris, that public health was part of the discussion, and they explained where the vulnerability is, and my recollection is the youngest kids, even without vaccinations, are not at the vulnerable level. It occurs a little while up, and the governor stressed that, and of course the is really pushed for anybody or the students, of staff and faculty, students that are eligible to receive vaccinations. They're encouraged. The Archdiocese doesn't mandate it, but they strongly encourage, and we strongly encourage at our school. That would be the closest to that. I mean, it obviously wasn't that type of meeting, and so to be honest, I mean, nobody asked that question.
I see. Okay. Well, thanks, Mike.
Wait.
Sorry.
So when is the governor anticipated to sign this executive order?
I don't know. I think that I would expect something would come out soon. It's likely they're including all these points that we've gone over, but she was very clear, as was the lieutenant governor, that the main point is, if your school is capable and you want to return to face, they're going to allow it for now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That would mean Monday, meaning Monday you would be allowed to do that.
And so the what was said in the meeting, Mike, was basically like, oh, the young kids, when they get COVID, it's not so bad, so go to school.
No, none of that was said.
Okay. So
was there a rationale kind of explaining why?
None of that was said.
Yeah, what was the rationale like
behind the decision? Like, the cases aren't that bad, or what?
Earlier, I in passing, when Chris and I were speaking, I mentioned that the educators that were part of that group, they have a real strong feeling that one, they can handle the needs that public health and the governor and others require. But two, there's so much damage being caused from students not returning to face instruction. They're so far, at least in all the reports I've seen, right, and I'm sure there's exceptions, the students are not passing COVID to each other. They're getting it from families that go out to family gatherings, that go to, quite frankly, bars and places like that. Wherever they're getting it from, they're then transmitting COVID to their children. But the students don't seem to be doing that to students. So you got a collection of children together. In our case, they become our students that are not transmitting the virus, it appears, to each other. And so while they're contracting the virus, they're not contracting the viruses or the virus from the schools or from each other. They're contracting the virus from home. I think that's my my summary as to why I think our principals and everybody involved with education and in the archdiocese, and I don't speak for anybody other than myself, feel that face-to-face is imperative. That then the day comes that the students are transmitting that virus at any serious level to each other, things might change. But you know, in the schools, when you come in, everything's different. I mean, we have everything from the HEPA filters to the you know, the shelters that are pretty much built up around the students, and their cohorts go around together. Everybody's separated. We
The
have
plexiglass fortress.
Masks are a permanent thing. We're going to do everything, and of course we see if there is transmission from student to student at any high level, I would not be surprised if the schools are shut down fast.
Right. Thank you, Mike. You good?
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Right. Yeah. And so it really does seem like, and I'll say it again, that this is acceptable, that this level of spread in the community. I mean, if nothing has changed, in fact, it's gotten worse since the governor suspended face-to-face learning. It has gotten worse. But if it has gotten worse and they're continuing to have these discussions where they're going to send our kids to school, then to me that means that this is the new normal and that the way forward is we're just going to have to suck it and eat it. You're going to get, 200 cases a day. You're just going to have to stress about whether or not your kids are safe in school because it doesn't look like you're going to have the option to allow them to learn online.
Right. And the Guam Education Board, they are scheduled to hold a workshop session today. They should be streaming it, I believe, on their Facebook page. And they're going to be talking about the reopening strategy of schools. So, like you heard from Mike Phillips, he had the meeting with the governor. He was lucky enough to participate with the private schools and charter schools, and they were pretty much given the heads up.
Yeah.
I
mean, but just logically, I don't understand what changed to warrant this decision because, again, face-to-face was suspended because of the fear that it was only a matter of time before this rampant community spread, impacted this. And it is impacting the school operation because when they get a positive, people have to quarantine.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm a little concerned here.
Yeah. Me too.
We just did that story, was it Monday? In the past 7 days, there were over 1,000 new cases, and there were 17 deaths at the time. No, that was Monday.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And so what? We're going to open up the schools, and all these people out here in the community where the spread is so rampant are going to go into the schools. The kids who we're saying, hey, they're not getting it at school, they're getting it at home. So they're getting it at home, and then we're going to send them back to school. I don't know. To me, this idea that there's an invisible shield